Okay, today we're making a brisket. One of the best things you can have at a cookout. The problem is, once you overcook it, it's horrible. Leather, all that time wasted. So today, we're gonna be making a brisket that's pretty hard to mess up. It is not your true brisket barbecue, in regards to it being cooked on a smoker the whole time, but it's a hybrid. So we're gonna be cooking it sous vide for the first 36 hours, and I'm gonna smoke it at the end for the color for the last 2. So if you don't know what sous vide is, you actually cook the meat in a water bath and it will never go above the temperature that you set. Before we get into this, if you have not subscribed, please do. Hit the bell so you get the notifications and share it with your friends. So here's an 11.5 pound brisket. Before you can throw it into the sous vide, you have to take away all the fat. We're gonna have about 1/8 of an inch of fat on top, and we're gonna trim off all the other crap that we don't want to eat. So first, just make sure you have a sharp knife. I did this, so it should be pretty good. This is a boning knife. Just gonna cut off some of this fat. There's not that much. The other side was pretty good. This stuff right here, you definitely want to get out. The other stuff's going to render down. This big chunk right here, nobody wants to eat that. Just take it out. All right, season it up real quick. So just gonna do salt and pepper. Lots and lots of salt and pepper. I mixed it up already. Just 50-50. Okay, flip it over. Make sure you get the edges. That's it. All right, so next we're gonna vacuum seal the meat in a bag. I would definitely, for something this size, I would put it actually in 2 bags just in case the first one fails, you still have the backup. And I would always seal it twice. So we already made one line in here, sealed it once. We're actually gonna seal it one more time. And seal. Okay. So what you do is you measure it. So you need about, give yourself a little extra space. You can always cut some off. Gonna be a pain in the ass. Larger bags last time because we had a bigger. There we go. Got it. The problem is now this whole thing is all. Just gonna wipe down the seal real quick just to make sure. The plastic to make sure that seals properly. I don't even know if this one's gonna be able to handle it. The old one broke. Let's hope so. I'm gonna triple seal this side. One more just to make sure. After that, we're going to do the same thing one more time. And like I said, we're just double seal it just to make sure that nothing rips. Tuck in the sides. A lot of people may be pissed off. Not real barbecue. But you know what? It's about the flavor. Again, seal it twice. Very, very important. The last time I made it, the inner bag actually failed. And thank God I had the second one on, because if it didn't, would have been bad. It's a lot of meat to be wasted. That's it. All right, so this bad boy goes in the sous vide. I set it at 155 degrees, which is what you want for a brisket. You can do it at 2 different temperatures. So this one's gonna be going for, you can do it from anywhere between 24 to 36 hours. We're gonna be doing this one for, I don't know, closer to the 36-hour range at 155 degrees. So all you're literally gonna do, place it in, hope it sinks. And it's gonna be cooking in here constantly at 155 degrees. Never gonna go up, except for right now, we're gonna fight too. And as long as we keep feeding water into it, it'll stay here at this this temp. Just gonna be basting in its own juices for the next 36 hours. So it's been 36 hours since we started making the brisket. Thank God. Let's give it a check out. We're gonna take it out. So it's been cooking at 155 degrees for 36 hours. Reminder, you can do 24 to 36. I had to put this pan in here in order to weigh it down because it started to float. It needs to be completely submerged in order to cook properly. Get it out of here without burning ourselves. First layer, looks like all the seals actually held up, which is good. So just a reminder that when we put this in there, it was just the meat. Oh fuck, that's hot. Just the meat. This is all rendered fat from the brisket and all the juices that escaped, and literally been just cooking in it for the last 36 hours. Never going above 155 degrees. Just getting better and better. Show you how much we actually got. You can see this making no juice with it. So look at that. Oh man, I don't even think this thing's big enough. That's at least 4 cups. 4 cups of juice. That alone is gold. So with sous videing, the very important thing if you want to get a good bark on it is you have to dry it off. I'll put down a layer of paper towels. This part's a little lengthy. Yes. Look at it, it's still leaking. What you're gonna do is just start patting it down. It smells amazing in here. I'm using coarse sea salt this time, and I already mixed, it's like 50-50 garlic and pepper there, just ground pepper. Start at the top. Start sprinkling it down. It's a big piece of meat. You want to make sure that you're getting a lot of seasoning on there. Get it in everything. And like I said, this is coarse sea salt. We're doing this now while it's still a little wet so that the seasonings will adhere a little better to it. After this is going to go in the fridge for an hour, or if you do this overnight, overnight's actually better. Just to let it dry off a little more. The fridge will suck some of the moisture out of it. Make sure you get all the corners. Doesn't look like much now, but once it's done being smoked, it's gonna have that nice bark over it, look like an actual brisket. Just give it time. All right, so the brisket is ready for the smoker. Let's turn this brown, ugly piece of meat into a masterpiece. We're gonna be cooking this at 275 for 2 hours. We're using cherry chips today. Put it in. And you wanna put fat side up. Okay, so the fat will continue to drop down in the meat and keep it nice and tender. Throw it in there. See you in 2 hours. Okay, so the brisket's been cooking for about 2 hours now at 270 degrees. It's time to take it out. So really much, this is just to give it the color so it didn't look nasty like it did before. That's it. Now we're just gonna let it rest for an hour, and then we'll cut her up. You don't want to cut it up right away, then you'll just, the first piece will be juicy, but the rest will be dry. After it's been resting for an hour, it's finally time to cut. So brisket, 2 parts to it. This side over here is the flat, this is the point. You want to cut against grain. So you don't want to go with the grain this way because it'll be super dry. You want to try to cut the muscle fibers up, make it as short as possible to keep it tender. You're going to cut over here, just make little pencil. All you want to go is the thickness of a pencil. Okay, just like that. Looks amazing. Alright, so you're going to continue cutting like that until you get up to the middle. And over here, the grains are actually running the opposite way. So once you're up here, I guess we can do the old little brisket squeeze test. Get all that juice. So we'll have to try this. Best part. I actually brought somebody, a professional taste tester. I did not pay him to say it's good, by the way. But if it's bad, just don't say it. All right, so I'm gonna cut off a little slab. And a little chunk. Need one for myself. There you go. And that's it.
It's really good, dude.
Wicked tender. And that's it. Until next time.